If you want a good show with great plot and amazing characters, don't watch this. Yeah, so Brynhilde in the Darkness, despite having a cool name, is absolute ass cheeks, and I'm not joking. I remember watching this when I was a wee lad, and I have to admit that I didn't remember much other than the opening being unique in some way, and that there were some ecchi scenes, but holy crap, I didn't remember it being this bad. If you've never seen this show, and I'm betting you haven't, I'll give you a brief introduction into the story while I try not to spoil it, even though I don't really think it matters whether I do or not. We start with our male protagonist, Ryota Murakami. He's a high school student. Of course he fucking is. What anime protagonist nowadays is? Sorry about that. Anyways, he's a regular guy who used to have a childhood friend called Neko. Pretty much, they used to look at the stars in the sky with a telescope, and one day tragedy strikes when he and Neko go looking for aliens. Yeah, don't ask. They fall and end up in the hospital. Now, I wish the story ended there, but we have about 4 minutes remaining of this video, and turns out that Neko died. Yeah, rip. Time skips 10 years forward and shit starts hitting the fan again when a girl that looks very similar to Neko appears at Ryota's high school. Unfortunately, she doesn't seem to be Neko at all, but whatever, because turns out that Kura Neko is a witch. Or a mage. It changes based on the dub and the sub, but I'll just say witch cause fuck you sub-elitists. So yeah, she can use magic of some kind to do cool shit like break a boulder in two to save Ryota. How did we get here? Oh, it's pretty normal to be honest. She comes to Ryota to his observatory and tells him that he'll die that day and then says peace as if nothing happened. Make sense? No? Too bad. So she saves him, explains to him that she's a witch, and later on explains to him that she used to be a lab rat for some weird people that turned her into what she is now, including a bunch of other girls. I have no idea why it's just girls, but it's anime, so I guess we don't question it. As the story unfolds, we also find out that these witches need a certain type of medication to stay alive, otherwise they'll literally disintegrate into nothing but their clothes and hair, which for some reason stays the same after they turn into goop. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that there's a lot of gore in this show, so if you're into that, still just please don't watch this. Yada yada, Ryota meets more girls later on that are all witches, turning him into a harem protagonist, and the story goes on from here. Now, while this might sound like a very interesting storyline, it really isn't. From certain comments I found, the manga seems to run longer than the show and has a better ending to some degree. Come on, man. But the anime doesn't execute it well enough to be actually good, which may be a result of rushing the story. Either way, I'ma just dive into some other parts of the anime. Remember how I mentioned the opening? Yeah, well it turns out it has two different ones despite only being 13 episodes long. The first one is like I said before, it's unique, if that's what you want to call it, because it's literally an EDM beatdown with no lyrics. While the second one is fucking metal, man. It's actually good, and I'm pretty sure it's made by the same people who did the opening for Parasite, which is just sick in my opinion. Now let's talk about the characters. Holy fuck, they're bad! By that I mean they're low-key just ass, or they're cardboard cutouts of other anime characters. You have the important girl, the perv, the big tits, and don't you get angry at me for saying that because they mention her tits all the fuck and some other girls that come later. They're really not that good, and the fact that it's an ecchi show just makes it worse because they're all either 16 or younger. So this is a great show to watch if you want the FBI knocking at your door the next day. And it's not just subtle stuff either. There's literal nudity in the show, and there's fan service everywhere with at least 3 bathhouse scenes in 13 episodes. That might be the world record for that little episode. There's also an OVA that consists of a whopping 1 episode, which is also just fan service with another bathhouse scene. And oh yeah, there's also this.
Then how about you show me those tits of yours for 1,000?
Ayo, what the Now okay, on a more serious note, if you have seen this anime and you genuinely enjoyed it, that's great. The last thing I want to do is hamper someone's fun when watching anime, but personally it's just not my thing. The only time I enjoyed it was when I was laughing at it with Kuba because of how dumb this shit was. There's a few unexplained things, stupid plot holes, and of course plot armor for the main characters. But anyways, if anyone has read the manga and says it's better, I don't doubt it, but I just don't like the anime adaptation, and for the last goddamn time before some people inevitably say this despite what I'm about to say, no, I am not reading the manga. It's a 4 out of 10 anime. If you enjoyed the video, then please be sure to leave a like and comment on what you'd like us to look at next. We do read every comment, and we try our best to reply as fast as possible. If this video is a bit less quality than the last, it's because of life reasons, and I hope you can forgive that. Anyways, we have a Discord channel, and now we've made an official YouTube channel for our podcast where we talk about anime and just general life stuff. So if you like that kind of content, then there'll be a link for both of those in the description. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next review.